From Melvin Landis Stadium at Mount Vernon High School in Alexandria, Virginia, WHCS Cable Channel 46 presents Group AAA Division 5 State Semifinals, the Mount Vernon Majors and the Phoebus Phantoms. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz. We welcome you to Alexandria, Virginia for the game between the 11-1 Phoebus Phantoms and the 7-4 Mount Vernon Majors. Bob, we have got a very unusual circumstance this afternoon in weather conditions. You and I are out here in shorts, T-shirt.
1st of December.
1st of December. It's 70 degrees. It couldn't be more beautiful, but we've got a great game on tap this afternoon. One of these teams is going to go to Richmond next week to compete for the state championship. The other team, of course, will be finished.
Well, and that's once you get to the playoffs, it's a single elimination. You don't get a second chance. But the Phoebus Phantoms coming in, Tim, on a roll. They have won 11 straight games. They lost the first contest against the Warwick Raiders, came back and avenged that real big in the first regional playoff game. And they come up here against a team that lost the first two games, won 3, lost 2, and then now they are on a 5-game winning streak. So, you know, both of these teams are on a winning streak, and Bill D says this is kind of a Cinderella team because they really didn't expect to get here, not with a 5-4 record, to get into the regional playoffs. But they knocked off Yorktown, the number 1 seed, and James Madison, the number 2 seed. So you got a team coming in here that has a lot of confidence.
Well, they've got a lot of momentum going, too. You know, you talk about – we were talking about this on the way up here, about a 7-4 team. You know, usually when you get to the state semifinals, you're looking at a team that's either undefeated or at worst maybe one loss.
Yeah.
But it's really not important as to what your record is for the overall season because this team started off slowly. They could have had key injuries. They could have had a gel problem as far as getting the team to be cohesive. Who knows, because we don't know a lot about this team. We do know something about it, and we'll talk about it in a minute. But they're on a roll, and they've won, like you said, they're undefeated in the last 5 games. So they're a dangerous team, and anytime when you're a team that's on a roll like that, you never know what's going to happen.
Well, you can't take any team lightly when you get to this place, and Bill D is not doing that. But they have a young man at tailback, number 11, Clayton, Tim, who's got over 550 yards rushing with 1 game less than what Phoebus has played this year. So he's not a slouch.
1,550, I think.
15, what did I say?
500.
Well, 1,500. Put a 1 in front of that 5. But what you have to understand is that they are primarily a running team. They will run the I option. You run a fullback dive, and then they'll run a sweep. The I option and sweep are probably their number 1 and number 2 plays that they're going to run. They've only thrown for about 300 yards for the year, so they're not known as a passing team, but yet you can't pull everybody up and then get bit by the bullet, and, you know, and they throw a long pass and you got nobody back there. So Bill D has taken all this into consideration. He's had the films of the games just like they've had films of Phoebus. So he knows what they're capable of doing.
Well, and then you bring up a very good point. 300 yards all season. I want to reemphasize that this is 11 games. That's less than 30 yards a game passing the ball. So clearly their tendencies are they're going to run the ball. I mean, that's got to be 95% of their offense. Right. The side of that you have to look at is you talk about you can't take that for granted, but you can to a certain degree, because if you're at this level in the playoffs, it's going to be very difficult for you to change the spots on that leopard. You're not going to become a passing team in one game.
No.
And on top of that, we talked about how Phoebus did against Warwick High School and Marcus Vick. Warwick was predominantly a passing team. Phoebus only allowed 78 yards on average in the air all year per game. So, you know, even if you do become a good passing team, you're not playing against a soft pass defense here.
Right now, but you made a point that they've only averaged 30 yards, but that's 30 yards catching. They may have thrown the ball more than that and just don't everybody can catch the ball. I don't know, but they are definitely a pass-oriented team. I mean, a run-oriented team. They will not throw the ball much. But on the other hand, you look at Phoebus. They're coming in with, they've got 4 gentlemen that can run the ball and do. Ronnie Hendricks at quarterback, McBride at tailback, Adibi at fullback, and then they can bring in Brown, who usually catches the ball, and stick him at tailback and not lose a thing. I mean, you can't stop one guy on Phoebus, but it looks like to me that you can stop one guy on Mount Vernon's team.
And that might be their Achilles heel in the long run, is because you're making a totally valid point. Phoebus has a team that if you shut down McWright, which no one's been able to do, he's got over 1,500 yards.
Over
he's got
1,700.
well, I mean, that was on a regular season, and he's added another almost 400 yards just in 2 playoff games. So, I mean, he's just been phenomenal. So if you do get fortunate enough to slow McWright down, then you got a DB who not only has power, but he's got quickness as well. And if that doesn't work out, then you've got Phillip Brown to go to, and then Ronnie Hendricks has come on and been incredibly consistent all year. You know, I made the mistake 3 games ago of talking about how he's not flashy.
Right?
Well, he's not flashy as a rule. So he made me those words because all he did was throw a couple of 50-yard touchdown or not near touchdown passes. Did a great job, but most importantly, I will go back and I won't change my feeling about this. Ronnie Hendricks makes every effort to make sure he doesn't do anything to lose the game for you. Right. He does the mechanics extremely well. He runs the ball on the option. We saw that last week. He just does a very good job at quarterback. He won't be a Marino per se, but he's going to get the job done for you.
Well, Bill told me this in the middle of the season. He says a lot of people have underestimated Ronnie Hendricks throwing the ball. He says, and they're going to get hurt because this young man can throw the ball, and we've seen it. But you made the point that him running the option and keeping the ball and picking up tremendous yardage. You know, when they played Hampton, they got the ball 4 times the first half and scored 4 touchdowns. That's about as perfect a game as you can have.
Well, now let's talk about defense a little bit here. You know, we've talked about the offense, McWright, Brown, etc. This defense has done an outstanding job. They're not allowing even 10 points a game on the season. They have been terrific. So when you put together a running attack that keeps the ball, eats up clock, puts points on the board for you, your defense can be a little more rested. You know, it's not like 3 and out or you throw a couple of passes and they're incomplete and all of a sudden the defense is back on the field.
Right. This defense is not only good and strong, but they're quick. And you've got some young men that have just stepped up. Quincy McWright as a freshman playing one of the end position defensive end. Bill D says he's not seen a young man come off the streets basically and do and learn and play like Quincy has. Of course, he's got an older brother that he can kind of look up to and see what's going on. But they have a DB plays a great job on defense. So he's got some people going both ways. Michael Littlejohn, Shadeed Harris. These guys not only play offense, but play defense and just will shut you down. And if your defense is on the field a lot, as we saw against Hampton, that last series, all they did was give the ball to, as Bill calls them, a horse, a DB, and 6, 7, 8 yards a pop, and they just run over people. What are you going to do?
We've got a great game lined up. This is a perfect afternoon. There's absolutely not a threat of any rain. Mr. Braxton is thrilled to hear that.
Yeah, what was you going to say? Sun-drenched?
Sun-drenched. That was the cue from our cameraman, Ron ESPN Baden. Sun-drenched, rapidly filling stadium here in Alexandria. We are set for the state semifinals. The group Division 5, Group AAA, Phoebus and Mount Vernon will be back with the starting lineups in just 1 minute. But first, we're going to go back in time. Bob had a chance to talk to our good buddy,
yes, sir,
Bill D, the coach of the Phoebus Phantoms.
Well, first of all, Bill, congratulations. Fine win last week. I mean, you really made a statement. Your kids are all healthy?
Yeah, as much as you can be this time of year. Everybody's going to play.
Well,
that's the best you can ask for.
Right. Tell me a little bit about the Mount Vernon team. What do you know about them?
Well, you know what we know of them. They're an eye football team. They like to run a lot of option, a lot of sweep. They've got they premiered their tailback. You know, he has like 1,500 yards rushing, and he's supposed to be highly recruited and stuff. So, you know, we're going to do the best we can.
Well, I know you guys are always prepared when it comes. You guys have stayed focused all year. You lost that first game, but from then on, you guys are on a click. Everybody is on the same page, and everybody is doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, the kids really showed a lot of character and coming back after that loss and playing and improving like we have.
Is there any young man that you want to point out that you think has done an exceptional job? I know you talked about McWright running the tailback and a DB. But, you know, you got a line that I think has been outstanding.
You know, I'd hate to really point out one individual because it's such a team effort. If anything, I think the singers have done a great job, you know, taking over the team. I always think you got to have great singer leadership, and we got great leadership by all our singers.
Well, that's very important. Well, listen, good luck today.
I appreciate it.
Hope to see you in Richmond next week.
I hope we do too.
Okay, let's go up to Tim.
Welcome back to Mount Vernon High School. Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz as I stumbled through that very nice. I'm not used to being on camera.
Wow, they caught you tongue-tied.
We do have a little additional camera work today. We're going to have a camera here in the booth, so that should make most of you pleasantly nauseous at home. And we also will have 2 sideline cameras as well. We're going to have additional camera work for you to hopefully bring you as good a coverage as we possibly can for today's semifinals, the Group AAA Division 5, Phoebus and Mount Vernon. And today's game is being brought to you by the sponsorship of Zooms, with 14 Peninsula locations to serve you. By Pearls, they're located at 15 North Mallory Street in Hampton. Give them a call at 722-1907. And the game is brought to you in part by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home. Give them a call at 827-4670. Well, the color guard has left the field. The bands are returning to their respective areas, and we are just about set to get this one underway. We're going to have the officials at the center of the field having the pregame ceremony in just a moment, and we will cover that for you. We're happy to tell you that our referee this afternoon, Wayne Alley, has agreed to use the wireless mic, so we'll be able to listen in on his commentary throughout this afternoon's contest.
Okay, guys, a couple things for today's game I want to let you know. I'm going to call you guys red. We're going to call you guys white, okay? If I have a penalty, I'll ask for the captain of the white, captain of the red. Come to you. I'm going to explain the options to you as many times as you need to understand it, but I got to go with your first choice, okay? Couple things. As captains of your team, your leaders, I want to make sure that your team only talks to its own team members. I want no back and forth, talking back and forth across the line. Sportsmanship is very important. We want to make sure you keep your teams under control at all times and exhibit good sportsmanship today, okay? Super job. Okay, we already had the pregame toss. We tossed it up. Phoebus won the toss. They said they wanted to receive. You said you wanted to kick from the scoreboard this way. So if you put your scoreboard, you put your back over here, and let everybody know what happened. Okay, start the game, ladies and gentlemen. Phoebus will receive away from the scoreboard. Gentlemen, shake hands and bring your teams out.
All right, we want to thank Wayne Alley for that information. And here are the rest of the officials for this afternoon. The umpire is David Spires. Lynn Orange is the head linesman. The line judge is Tyrone Hicks. The back judge is Matt Overton. The field judge, Steve Morgan. And the electric clock operator is Dick Foster.
Well, Tim, we have 5 cameras for today's contest, as you alluded to, 2 on the sideline. And I want to allude to the other sideline camera. That's being run by Bryant Rutledge, and Quindell Evans is going to be his mobile cable technician. And, of course, ESPN Ron Baton is on the other sideline camera, and Juan Brown is his cable technician. And we got Scotty Bowers as a director, graphics Andy Folio. I'm thinking audio. Andy Foley is graphics. Audio, Mike Nowinski. Engineer, Don Chiraus. The other cameras, Nathaniel Braxton and Susan Bowers. And Andre Mattingly is doing the instant replay.
Jason Baggin will be kicking off for the Majors. That is the nickname of Mount Vernon. We have a beautiful afternoon. It's more like the 1st of June than it is the 1st of December. The temperature in the low to mid 70s. Sun-drenched, and we are set to get this one underway. A short low kick taken, well, finally controlled by the Phantoms. This is McWright, and he is across the 25-yard line to about the 27, where the Phantoms will set up 1st and 10.
We'll give you the lineups. Starting for the Phantoms at center, we got Pavlik at the guards, King and Braxton. At the tackles, Bowles and Bunch, the ends, Harris and Blunt. Flanker is Brown, quarterback Hendricks, fullback Adibi, and number 22, McWright, is the tailback.
On the initial play from scrimmage, Travis McWright gets the ball, and he is out close to the 30-yard line. I will say to you, Bob, you and I are a little spoiled because we have a higher vantage point at Darling Stadium, so we're going to struggle a little bit with positioning. Here are the Majors on defense. The guards are Barnes and McMorris. The tackles are Bell and Barron. The ends are Perkins and Wiggins. The linebackers are Valentine and Doles. Ferguson, Fetterman are the corners, and the safety is Carlton Kobe. And again, the Phantoms keep it on the ground as they are out to about the 34-yard line.
Alexander Debe, Tim, is the one that ran the ball that time. Picked up good yardage. And you can see they've got a pretty good defense. They run in that 6-2. They're being the majors. They're going to have 7 to 8 men on that line of scrimmage.
This is McWright, and he is into the open. He stumbles at midfield where he might have gone all the way, but he will have a first down for the Phantoms in Majors territory.
Tim, you and I have talked about this before. It seems like McWright runs off the right side of the line, and Adibi runs off the left side of the line, but there was a tackler that just got his hand on his foot and tripped up Travis McWright that time on that run. Nice run.
First down at about the 48-yard line of Mount Vernon, just underway here in Alexandria. McWright gets the call, and he is down to about the 45-yard line.
One of the things that we've noticed this year about the Phantoms, Tim, is that when they get hit, they don't stop. They keep their feet moving and do a good job of continuing to pick up yardage after being hit by the initial tackler.
There aren't any hash marks to denote the different single yardage markers, so we'll be estimating that as best we can, and certainly don't want to complain. The stadium here is a very nice facility, and the folks here at Mount Vernon have just gone out of their way to be accommodating. So
they really have, and I got some names I do want to talk about. Randy Slack, who is the assistant DA, has really gone out of his way to help Scotty and the group get up here and set up. The athletic director is Bernie Forte, but Bernie had round trip tickets to Hawaii this week, so knowing he wasn't here, but he could have been here the same kind of.
Hendricks on a flare pass to Philip Brown. Brown is down to the 25-yard line. That'll be another first down for the Phantoms.
That's that little screen to the flanker, Tim, that they run that so effectively.
There you see some of the Phantoms in attendance. A good contingent from Phoebus here to watch the Phantoms in their quest for the Group AAA Division 5. I stumbled over there. 17 yards on that pass completion. They marked the ball at the 25-yard line of the Majors. Ronnie Hendricks running the operation. Got movement into the zone, but no call. Now checking off, looks like Hendricks is calling an audible, and he gives to Adibi, and Adibi finds a huge hole, and he is down inside the 20, down close to the 15-yard line.
Boy, did Hendricks do a good job of finding the opening on the right side of that line. He checked off, did a great call. Tim, we will pick a player of the game from these teams today. Watch the replay, and I'll get back to the player of the game in a minute. Look at that hole, Tim. You and I could walk side by side through it.
He's just short of the first down. Please, go ahead.
I'll wait till after this play, and then I'll give it the player of the game.
All right, it was a gain of 9 on the play. Second down and a yard for the Phantoms. Driving with the initial kickoff. This is McWright, and McWright will have the first down as he crosses the 15 to about the 14-yard line.
Each of those player from Phoebus will get a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Engraving Inc. They're located at Tab Square on Route 17. Give them a call at 596-8850. Dave Buckwalter is the owner. Talk about the shirt in just a second.
First down at the 14-yard line for the Phantoms. 8.5 minutes remaining in a scoreless first quarter. This is Travis McWright following his blocking. He's still on his feet. He's down close to the 5-yard line.
Wow, what a run. The shirt comes from the Islander Sporting Goods located in Pocosin. They can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment, uniforms, plus screen printing. Give Dave Chubb a call at 868-8467. John Roberts is the owner. What a nice drive, Tim.
Another gain of 9, consecutive 9-yard drives, well, interrupted by a pickup of a first down, but they are close to the first down, second and a yard. This is Adibi, and he is close to the goal line. He's in, score!
Just keeps his head down. It covers up the ball. Tim follows his blockers and just bowls his way into the end zone.
A 5-yard run for Xavier Adibi on the opening drive of the ball game. The Phantoms use up about 4.5 minutes. And Jason Mickle will be on to try the extra point for the Phantoms. The kick is up, it's long enough, and it is good.
We had to wait for a second. Whoa, what a nice drive to open up the game. And, Tim, this is what they have been doing since the playoffs have started. Watch the replay of the touchdown. Watch the DB, Tim. Just follow his blockers and right into the end zone.
But you've picked up something. A DB to the left, McWright to the right. That was 9 plays, 73 yards, and they consumed 4 minutes and 7 seconds. And the Phantoms strike first here in the state semifinals.
Well, I tell you what, I could use some of the Zooms, some of their Pepsis, and it wouldn't hurt to have a sub, ham and cheese sub about now.
Zooms with 14 convenient Peninsula locations to serve your needs, and they have that premium Citgo gasoline at exceptionally low prices these days. Go by, fill up your tank, fill up your tummy. Go see Zooms.
And Tim loves Zooms. That's where he goes when he wants to get some good fried chicken, so check him out.
McWright on that last drive, 6 carries, 37 yards, and the drive of 73 yards capped off by the 5-yard run by Xavier Adibi.
And we had about a 17-yard pass play in that drive.
Good mixture of plays. The Phantoms moved it very effectively. Long kick taken by their big gun, number 11, Clayton, and he is out to about the 22 or 23-yard line. It takes me a moment. We're somewhat obscured vision of the got something here. There we go. All right. And for the Majors on offense, the center is Troop. McMorris and Barnes are the guards. The tackles are Pearson and Winkler. Bell is the tight end. The split end is Horner. Sable is the flanker. Chris Spencer is your quarterback. Carlton Kobe is the fullback, and Thomas Clayton will be the tailback. He's the dangerous one. First down from the 21-yard line. Into the middle.
Boom.
Into the middle of the line. Oh, boom. You got to let me finish my
Wow, I mean, I could hear that up here.
You have a window open on your side.
Oh, well, that's true.
All right, here come the Phantoms on defense.
All right, where are they? Here we go. At tackles, Michael Littlejohn, Shadid Harris, the ends, DB and Quincy McWright. Inside backers are Dixon and Blunt. Outside backers, Lee and Hall. The corners, Brown and Parker, and Ellis is the safety.
Out of the eye, this is Clayton, and Clayton tries the left side, gets a couple of yards, might have crossed the 20 to about the 22-yard line. The Majors had lost a yard on that first play, so he gets 3 on this one, and it brings up third down and about 8. Clayton and Kobe are the I-backs.
Got a couple of wide receivers. This is a different formation.
Well, they had the double wides to the near side last time, but they show no indication of throwing the ball. We talked about that. This is Kobe, the fullback, carrying, and he is across the 25 to about the 28-yard line, but that'll bring up a fourth down and about almost 3 yards and bring on the kicking team.
Tim, it looks like what Coach Stone is trying to do is spread out that defense a little bit. Did I get yours?
Yep, you did.
There we go. I knew what that came from. I said, man, I got 2 of them here. How did I get 2 of them?
Jeff Schmidt, number 53, will be on to punt for the Majors. They may have a little bit of a chink in their armor here because no one seemed to know who their punter was. They said that the punter was perhaps not going to play today, so I'm not sure he's their regular guy or not.
Well, that was a smart move.
It was a good kick, by the way.
Yeah, Brown let it hit Tim. He was back far enough not to let it go over his head. It was a short kick, and rather than take a chance to catch the ball, he let it go ahead and roll, so it ended up as a good kick for the Majors.
Ball will be marked at the Phantom 36-yard line.
Tim, I want to let the fans know that Coach Stone didn't get a chance to get out here in time for us to do an interview with. It wasn't that he wouldn't do it, but we were just a time constraint. But we do appreciate Bill D taking time to come over and give us a little bit of his knowledge.
All right, the Phantoms leading 7-0 will have the ball for the second time this afternoon. Ronnie Hendricks working with a DB and McWright in the backfield. And this is McWright, and he hits the middle of the line, and there's nothing there.
Well, they stacked that up real good. They pinched in with their tackles and ends, Tim, and it just pinched right in, and there was no hole.
You know, it's an odd thing, Bob, to talk about the possibility that heat could be a factor this afternoon. And of course, these guys are in great shape. This is the 13th game of the season for the Phantoms. But, you know, it could be a factor. It's actually very warm on the field this afternoon. Not in the 80s or anything, but in the 70s.
And there's not a cloud in the sky.
Hendrick sets up the screen and is almost picked off. That was a good play by Xavier Adibi to become a defender, because the defensive player on that side, David Wiggins, number 35, read that play perfectly, and he was in better position to catch the ball than the intended receiver. You might see this on the replay here. This is a screen pass. They let the on-rushing lineman come in, and Hendricks actually could have been called for offensive interference there if it had been just a little sooner when Adibi made contact with the defensive back. 3rd down and about 10 for the Phantoms. Defense doing a much better job on this drive. Hendricks wants to throw. He's got DJ Parker wide open at midfield.
Oh,
He's got the catch.
Was that a strike, Tim?
It was a perfect strike at the midfield stripe. DJ Parker gets the first down for the Phantoms by air.
Well, see, DJ Parker's kind of an overlooked receiver, because their probably number 1 receiver is Brown, and Brown went down and kind of took the defensive with him, and nice hook job that time by DJ Parker to get into the zone, pick up the first down.
Right at midfield, first down for the Phantoms as they were looking at 3rd and 10 and convert. Hendricks will pitch to McWright. McWright follows the blocking, and again, good defensive stick. Let me pick up that young man's number. That's number 5 for the Phantoms.
Isn't that the fullback?
Carlton Kobe plays both sides of the ball for the Majors, and that was as good an open field tackle as you'll see on anyone, let alone a speedster like McWright. Watch this replay. The quick pitch to McWright, and then coming up very quickly, just a superb tackle by Kobe. A slight loss
safety.
on the play.
Tim, he plays safety.
Yeah, he came up. You can see him on the field right now. He's out of your picture. You and I can see him. The fans can't. This is McWright. He's got the corner. He's got some sideline, and Travis McWright will be down inside the 15 to the 10-yard line.
I tell you, you can't. You plug up inside and stop inside, and they'll pop it outside on you. Nice job on the option play that time by Ronnie Hendricks, keeping the ball until the last moment to pitch the ball to McWright. Watch it right there as he was getting ready to get hit. Great blocking, Tim. And look at the block that number 7, DJ Parker, is doing downfield for him.
Touchdown saving tackle by David Wiggins, but not before 43 yards on the run by Travis McWright. And it sets up the Phantoms 1st and goal at the 8.
In the stack eye.
And this is McWright to the 5. As we are at the 3:35 mark of the first period. The Phantoms, if you joined us late, scored on their first drive, 73-yard drive, capped by a 5-yard rush by Xavier Adibi. And now for the second time, the Phantoms have got the ball, and they are knocking on the door once again. There you see the scoreboard, leading 7-0 are the Phantoms. 2nd down and goal, the ball at the Majors 5-yard line. Great picture. It's a lot of fun to do this in the daytime because you get a lot better picture with the extra sunlight. This is McWright. He stopped for a moment and then struggles to about the 3.
Did you see him? Everything was blocked off 10 and just made a nice cut to the left. And what is it, down about the 2 or 3 yard line?
Again, there aren't individual hash marks you can see on your shot from the high camera shot. So we're guesstimating the yardage. And again, the field here is just in incredible condition. You can see how green the grass is. In spite of the drought, they've done a great job keeping this field in good shape.
Well, they had the sprinkler on last night.
Well, these things happen. Pass to Shadid Harris, touchdown!
Nobody picked him up because they're looking for the run. Boy, Bill D is letting them know he's got a lot of arsenal, and you're going to have to look at everything.
So the Phantoms continue on a roll. Shadid Harris on the receiving end of Ronnie Hendricks' pass for the score. Makes it 13-0, and now Jason Mickle will try and make it 14. Mishandled the snap, but a good job of getting it under control. Did a good job of controlling it. A little bit of difficulty on the snap, but it didn't affect it because Mickle was set, made the extra point, and we are at a 14-0 score with just. Here's the pass. I mean, Shadeen Harris just wide open.
Pearls have been in business since 1947, and they have it all: drapes, carpet, tile, vinyl, blinds, both mini and vertical, and they're custom designed for your needs. Contact Pearls at 727-1907. They're located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus.
That drive started at the 36-yard line, so a 64-yard drive for the Phantoms. And they mixed it up well again. Some passing in there, so a nice pass for a first down on 3rd and long to DJ Parker. And then another pass for the touchdown to Shadid Harris. As the Phantom offense continues to be in perfect synchronization. The defense did their job as well, held the Majors on a 3-and-out the first time they had the ball. They'll get a second opportunity now. And again, Clayton will field it almost exactly the same spot. A knee went down, but they didn't say he was down.
Yeah.
Now a late flag thrown into the pile as Clayton got out to about the 25-yard line, but let's see how this penalty gets called.
89 on the white team.
Got a chop block against the kicking team, which is somewhat unusual.
Yeah, but it was a chop block.
Travis McWright, 11 carries, 86 yards here just in the first quarter alone.
How much time did you have the time consumed on that last drive?
No, but I'll bet you Mike will get it for me.
Mike Hauser will have it for you. We appreciate Mike Hauser up here helping us tonight or this afternoon.
8 plays, 64 yards. They took 3 minutes and 32 seconds, so the Phantoms have had the ball almost 8 minutes here in the first quarter, but now a major penalty marked off for the illegal block.
Tim, that's would have been at the 25, and now it's at the 40. So
big penalty.
Great field position for the Majors.
Let's see if they can move the ball this time. This is Kobe, and he might have gotten a yard at best.
At the bottom of that pile, hanging on to his legs, first one to hit him, Xavier Adibi.
Let me correct myself. That was number 13, Joe Sable, who carried the ball. Watch the replay here, and he just got a yard. That was it.
Adibi plays an defensive end position right in on that tackle.
Marcus Dole, number 41, in the backfield. This is Clayton. This is what they had to worry about, and they got a hand on him. Philip Brown saved the touchdown as Clayton is all the way down to the 31-yard line.
What a nice opening that time. Found a little chink in the armor over there on the left side of that right side of the defense anyway. Popped through there. Nice tackle by Brown at the end.
Here's your replay. 28 yards on the play and a good job of opening a hole for a very quick running back. Philip Brown saved 6 points for certain by getting a hand on the ankle. They mark it at the 32-yard line, a first down for the Majors, their first down of the ball game. This is Clayton again, and Clayton gets about 4 or maybe 5. He's a big kid, too. They list him at 5'11", 190, but he looks much bigger than that.
Yeah, I was going to say he's probably over 200. Heavily recruited.
Read in the paper that Florida State and a bunch of other big-time colleges looking at this young man. Here's the replay. You can see he hits the hole very quickly. They mark the ball at the 27-yard line of the Phantoms. Second down and about 5. Spencer pitches to Clayton. They want to try the near side, and that's not going to go at all. Great job of coming over to make the stop by Mike Dixon, number 12. He was there, Johnny on the spot.
But what made that play, made his job much easier is Adibi. Now watch him on the replay, Tim. If you see him, he's out there making the runner turn inside to where your defensive people were. Loss of some yardage on that. Maybe a yard.
Maybe a yard. Let's call it third down and still about 5.
Yeah, about 6. I like 6.
6. And time has expired here in a very rapid first quarter. A lot of completed passes, a lot of rushing by both teams. We've played 12 minutes after one quarter. Our score is Phoebus 14 and Mount Vernon nothing. And Bob, this is exactly what the Phantoms wanted to do, get out of the blocks quickly, be effective on offense, and they've done it.
Well, what they have done, Tim, is what they did, reminiscent of last Friday night when they played Hampton. They got the ball and they scored. They got the ball and they scored. That's what they've done here. They have run it, but they've made some real nice third down conversions, especially one to DJ Parker on a nice pass from Hendricks to pick up the first down. They were third and long, but they're running the ball well. They're passing the ball well. They're clicking on all cylinders. And, Tim, when your team makes a couple of touchdowns, boy, don't you think that doesn't inspire the offense and the defensive team?
And look at here.
Oh, happy birthday, Ruth Hintz. I'm killing you not getting a picture of that.
We got it on the Ruth Hintz. Is that someone you know?
Yeah, I think so. She had her big birthday the 29th, and we appreciate Brent Musgrove and all his people that he brings up in his van holding up that sign. He told me he was going to do it. Awesome.
That'll cost you now. Those personal plugs.
I know it.
All right, the ball marked.
I'm going to keep Mama happy.
Marked at the 27, third down, and as Bob said, 6, close to 5. On the option, Spencer wants to throw. He does. Got Clayton wide open at the 16-yard line, so they pass very rarely, but that time it was a completed pass for a big first down.
Well, they needed that, Tim, because their running attack has not been that consistent.
Here's the replay.
And rolling to his left. Nice throw that time by the quarterback.
Coming right at you.
Chris Spencer, good job.
And he completes it to his all-purpose back, Thomas Clayton. So it's a first down at the Phantom 16. This is Kobe. And a flag into the line where generally you'll see a holding call, but let's not be premature on that. But a penalty flag on the play. And that, in fact, is the call. It will cost the Majors a penalty.
Tim, looking at the...
Okay, we'll take it back 10 yards. Replay first down, so it'll be basically 1st and 20 from the spot of the foul, okay? Spot of the foul, 10 yards. During the play, we have a hold on the red. Still playing first down.
And again, we do truly appreciate the referee, Mr. Wayne Alley.
Well, I heard that the Majors didn't have a lot of extra money, so they didn't want to put the little marks in there, but they knew you were Eagle Eye, so they figured you would handle it.
That's very sweet of them. They move it back to the 25-yard line, so for all intents and purposes, it is 1st and 20. Another flag comes down as the ball carrier, Clayton, gets to about the 20-yard line, but again, a penalty flag, and that'll be illegal motion against the Majors. So they're starting to make a few mistakes here, and something they can't afford to do when you're down by 2 touchdowns.
Well, and not only down by 2 touchdowns, Tim, but down where they were on about the
They're on the 15,
16-yard line, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yep.
Backfield move, coach, for the snap. Still playing 1.
So you heard it very clearly. So instead of going from right to left right now, the Majors are going from left to right, which is not what they want to do. 11:05 left in the first half. Phoebus 14 and Mount Vernon nothing. The pitch to Clayton. Clayton trying to get the right corner. Finds that all stacked up, and then Shadeed Harris is there along with, you best it, Mr. Adibi.
Man, is he playing the game, Tim, but somebody just blocked that up, did not let him get outside. Bill D told me that their 2 main plays were their pitch option, and their sweep, and this is a sweep, but look at the job right there.
See, they just clogged it up, and then actually it looked like it was number 9, Marlon Ellis, who kind of clogged it up, and then that allowed Shadeed Harris along with Xavier Adibi to come in for the stop and a loss on that play.
And Ellis plays the safety.
34-yard line. This is the handoff. Check that, a option play. Spencer found Clayton. He may go all the way. He will score. Beautiful play by the Mount Vernon team.
They caught Phoebus looking for a dive. Nice fake of the dive. That's their other big play that they run.
So Thomas Clayton gets the Majors on the scoreboard with a beautiful option play. I thought they had done the dive play.
Yep.
And the quarterback, Spencer, kept it and then pitched it, and Clayton had easy sailing as the defense had all gone either to the middle or to the quarterback. The extra point try, the kick is up, and the kick is no good. So that could come back as a possible problem down the road, but right now with 10-12, here's the score, the replay.
Watch it, Tim. It's a nice fake to the guy right there, and the defensive man went beyond where he could be effective.
Yeah, couldn't seal that corner.
Yeah.
And the
24-yard touchdown. The quarterback carried it for 5 yards, then pitched it. 29-yard touchdown.
Okay, so it's a 24-yard touchdown because, and I had never thought about this statistically, the quarterback carried the ball for the first yardage. And then I'm not sure how that works. I didn't know you did it.
I thought it was from the line of scrimmage. I'd give him the whole thing myself.
I thought so too. In any event, it is a score by Mr. Thomas Clayton. That is his 19th touchdown of the year.
Call Pearls for all your drapes, custom designed by interior decorator Ray Paris and Tommy Thompson. They will do a free in-home consultation. Pearls is located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus. Give them a call, 722-1907.
8 plays, 60 yards. It consumed 4 minutes and 12 seconds as the Majors awakened on offense. Kickoff after the touchdown, and this will go over the head of McWright, and it will actually end up in the end zone barely. And of course, again, those of you that may not know, in high school football, if it goes into the end zone, you have no option to take it out. It is an automatic touchback.
Automatic. Zooms has given an award to the senior player on each one of the Hampton High School teams in the Hampton School Division this year who have demonstrated academic excellence. And these players received award this past Wednesday, the 28th of November, at a school board meeting. And we'd like to thank David Allen and Zooms for the continued support of WHCS and our student athletes. And those players were Marlon Ellis of the Phoebus Phantoms, Aaron Whitehead for Hampton, Tommy Hammond for Kecoughtan, and Jonas Watson for Bethel.
Travis McWright gets the call, picks up about 4 out to the 24-yard line. Shot before that, you saw the lofty position that our camera people are working from atop the press box here.
Above our head.
Above our head. Melvin Landis Stadium, as you saw in your picture. Here at a beautiful campus for Mount Vernon High School. Second down at about 6 for the Phantoms. Out of the I formation. Fake to a DB. McWright gets the call, and he is stacked up for a loss. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's all.
Well, I tell you, a score has really excited this defense. They're playing with a little more zip to their step.
How often do you see that? Isn't it amazing when you see a team that's, as you watch the replay here, you see a team that's kind of on its heels, and the offense comes up and scores a touchdown, and then the defense gets out there and they start playing twice as effectively as they were the previous play. Third down and long. Over the middle, DJ Parker can't bring it in, just off his fingertips, and incomplete for a 4th down, and now the Phantoms will have to kick for the first time this afternoon. Tim Cole and Bob Hintz, along with Bob Killen and Mike Hauser, and the Channel 46 crew coming to you from Mount Vernon High School in Alexandria, Virginia. This is the Group AAA Division 5 state semifinals. The victor will go on to Richmond next week. The loser will watch the game or hear about it on the radio.
They probably won't go watch it.
No, they probably won't. Greg Narvid back to punt. He gets a high, not particularly long kick. And it takes kind of a sideways bounce. Not much roll on it, so the Majors of Mount Vernon will have very good field position at the Phoebus 46-yard line.
That best field position they've had, and this is a thing that you got to be careful with the team in the playoff, Tim. They score and their defense makes you go 3 and out. They got good field position, and they'll look to try to score real quick.
Just a 22-yard punt on that play. 8:52 remaining here in the first half. Phoebus 14 and Mount Vernon 6, as you see the sun-drenched crowd here on hand on just a gorgeous afternoon on the 1st of December, the year 2001. So the Majors now will start trying to get another touchdown and get this ball game tighter. on the option. And this is a reverse. Coming this way. This is Marcus Bradley. And Bradley is across the 40 to about the 39-yard line. So an effective play. Started out a little slowly, but again, it was enough to slow down that defensive rush. And you know, if you're the coach, Jody Stone over there at Mount Vernon, this is very effective.
Well, watch DJ Parker. You can't see him down here, Tim, but he is fighting off a block right there of number 13, Joe Sable, and makes the tackle. He should have been blocked and out of the play.
Gain of about 8 on the play, almost 8 at least. Second down at about 3. And then a fumble. Ball is loose, and the Phantoms have got it.
Oh, good job. And that looked like big 89 Quincy McWright, Tim, that caused the fumble.
And Jeremy Blunt came up with a fumble,
Yes,
number
he did.
10. The two of them kind of combined on that effort, but that was a defensive effort that knocked the ball loose. Watch the replay. You're going to see Spencer mixed up in the backfield. He and Kobe actually ran into each other, and that caused the fumble and the recovery at the 40-yard line.
Well, they ran into each other. McWright was tackling both of them.
So the first turnover of the ball game gives the ball back to the Phantoms. And let's see if they can regain some momentum now from their 40-yard line. This is Xavier Adibi. He had a hand on him, but no one stopped him. He's still going. He cuts it back. He's got some running room down the far sideline. He's still going, and he's finally dragged down at the 10-yard line.
Whoa, what a, Tim, whoa, what a good job of making some cuts there to get that extra yardage.
50 yards on the play. The line of scrimmage was the 40. A 49-yarder as they mark him at the 11-yard line.
Yeah, they marked him at the 11. Watch this. Now watch him right there get through, but make a cut right here to avoid a tackler, and then just got caught by number, was it 25, Tim? For Marcus Ferguson.
The 11-yard line is the spot, so the Phantoms can, in fact, get a first down without scoring, but it's 1st and 10 at the 11. Now a flag is thrown. That was before the snap. If there was a early motion, let's see. Yep, illegal procedure against the Phantoms, so that will cost them 5 and mark them back to the 16.
Get the box. Get the box. Where's the box? 6. This is 6. I got the ball.
You can hear some of the conversation. And now we've got a timeout being called. And this will be a timeout by the Phantoms of Phoebus.
Well, Tim, Bill wants to make sure everybody is on the same page. This is a smart timeout. You got 7:32 to go in the second quarter, but you're down there. You're getting ready to score. You're on the 11-yard line, and then you get a 5-yard illegal procedure penalty. You want to be making sure that everybody is doing what they're supposed to do. Don't get another penalty down here. But what a nice run by Adibi.
He's really come on
Whoa.
strong at the end of the season and into the playoffs. He's really contributed very strongly in that running game. You know, we talked about this during the pregame, and this is really what's so important, is when you have more than one weapon, when you have 3 or 4 very strong weapons like they do with Philip Brown and Xavier Adibi and with Travis McWright and then Ronnie Hendricks, it doesn't allow the other team to key on any one player, and it spreads, you divide and conquer, if you will.
You're right.
Back to the action now. Hendricks has some time, throws for Philip Brown in the end zone. He's got it. Is it a touchdown? Yes, it is.
I couldn't see, but well, look at there's a good job. Nice throw. Put it in the corner of the end zone and let Philip Brown run under it, Tim.
We've seen that recently. Ronnie Hendricks has just been spectacular, for lack of a better word, on connecting when he needs to with that pass. He didn't do a lot of passing this year. He was very efficient when he does pass, and that's the key to it.
Well, why do you need to pass, Tim, if you got runners that can handle the ball as well as and run the ball as well as the Phantoms?
Extra point is up and good, and Bob brings a good point to me that Hendricks, even though he didn't have big yardage numbers, led the Peninsula District in percentage of completion.
Watch the play right here. Now
Little
watch
play
the
action.
nice
Good block.
block, yeah.
Good block by Travis McWright, and then Brown just ran to the open spot.
But I watched him run his pattern, Tim, and it looked like he was going to do a crossing route, and he made a nice, strong move to the middle of the field and then broke it out to the corner. And Hendricks, you're right, did a great job of putting that ball right on the money.
60 yards, just 2 plays, consuming 42 seconds, and again, the touchdown off of a turnover. So how important was that? We saw the momentum swinging to the Majors. They had scored a touchdown. They were able to stop the Phantoms after they kicked to them and started to move the ball, and then had that mix-up in the backfield. 2 plays later, the Phantoms, instead of looking at a 14-13 game or a 14-14 game with a 2-point conversion, now they're up 21-6. Could be a huge turning point in this ball game.
You're right.
That touchdown came with 7:25 remaining in the half. On the kickoff, now a short kick. This is taken by one of the fullbacks that play for the Majors. That is Marcus Bradley. And actually he's listed as a wide receiver as he gets out to the 25-yard line on the kickoff return.
Jenkins, number 21, did a good job. He got stiff arm, but he just went right on down to the legs and made the tackle. Watch this. Looked like he was going to pick up some nice yardage. Does a good job. Nice block there. But watch this stiff arm, but it didn't stop him.
That was an excellent play by Jenkins. Jennison Jenkins just doing a superb open field tackle on that play. 25-yard line is where the Majors will start. And they try the middle of that line with no success as Kobe is stopped cold. That was Carlton Kobe, number 5, who's done an outstanding job on defense tonight, this afternoon as well.
And that was big number 74, Floyd Braxton, Tim. Boom.
So a gain of maybe a half a yard. Let's call it second down and
10.
10. Could go either way. It could be 9.5, 10.
Yeah, well, I
More or
like
less.
10.
All right. Spencer pitches to Thomas Clayton. Clayton trying to turn the right corner, and that pursuit is there to stop him. They even kept him in bounds as he may have gotten a yard. That's about all.
Well, Tim, this kind of reminds me of when they played Heritage and Michael Johnson, how good a runner he is. They did not let him get outside on him. In fact, held a young man who has tremendous potential to minus 16 yards for the game.
I think truly in order to run and get the big plays, they have to do it with a quick hitter. They've got to do it with superb blocking. Because I don't think that you can sweep against this Phoebus team consistently throughout the game. We've got an official stoppage of play here.
I'm not sure why.
It looks like they're asking the team to back away from the sideline a little bit, so it's a sideline warning to the team and coaches. Third down and about 8. Spencer still has the football. He had a
DB was right on him.
Zeroing in on him, but couldn't get to him. And now Spencer is unceremoniously dumped at the, let's see where they mark his forward progress, 50, 40, 36-yard line. And that will be enough for a first down. Just barely got the first down, but a good job by Spencer in picking up the necessary yardage.
Well, he had to because DB it was all over him, but Quincy McWright is the young
right here.
man.
Look here. DB had him dead to rights, but
Well,
Quincy,
watch Quincy McWright right there. Boom.
Well, you know, had he been able to stop his forward progress and not slam dunked him like that, he wouldn't have gotten the first down. But, hindsight is always 20/20.
Well, you want to make a statement, too.
And he did. But nonetheless, a first down for the Majors at their 36. Nothing happening there. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. That's about all. Again, Carlton Kobe, the ball carrier.
Michael Littlejohn, number 85. Boom, right there.
Well, I take that back. It was Kobe blocking for Clayton on that play. Actually, the two were right together, and I believe it was, in fact, Thomas Clayton who got the call. So he picked up a half a yard, perhaps.
Whichever one it was, he got introduced to Michael Littlejohn.
Yes, there was not much happening there. 21-6 is our score. We approach the 4 minute and 50-second mark of the first half. Spencer on the option. And it looked like a DB was being held, but no penalty flag. And then Spencer picks up about 2 yards.
Well, they strung that out, making him make a decision whether to pitch or not.
We'll watch the replay again coming right towards you. They see, again, the defense just so quick to the ball. They mark it at the 37.5, almost the 38-yard line. So it brings up a 3rd down and about 8 for the Majors. This game a very quick-paced ball game as we're now at the 4-minute mark in the first half. Spencer rolling, wants to pass, has some time, has a man open, throws, and it is incomplete. A good job as the defender on the play was number 11, Jason Hall, and the intended receiver, Marcus Bradley, battling for the ball, and the ball came loose from both of those players. So the incomplete pass will bring on the kicking team for the Majors. This is Schmidt, number 53. Jeff Schmidt will be in deep punt formation. Philip Brown will be the only back deep for the Phantoms. Low snap, the ball's on the ground, and that'll be Phoebus football as the punter, Schmidt, had to fall on the football. It'll be Phoebus at the, 26-yard line. Great field position.
Tim, another turnover.
Yes, it exactly was, and I talked about this before we came on the air. I was asking the assistant AD here who the punter was because we were trying to familiarize ourselves with the different players. He wasn't sure. He indicated to me that they didn't know if the regular punter was going to play. So I'm not so sure if this is the regular punter.
Well, it may not be, and that assistant AD, of course, Randy Slack, and we want to thank him and Bernie Forte for all their help and allowing our crew up here and getting set up.
On the option, McWright got the pitch. Oh, and a block. What a seal block on the right side by DB. He is crushing people.
Is he playing a game or what?
He is just flat crushing some of those guys out there. We had a couple of the interior linemen or the defensive linemen tangled up momentarily. No flag on the play. But a first down registered by Travis McWright at the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 at the Majors 15 after their second turnover of the ball game. The first a fumble, the second a bad snap and a mishandled punt attempt as a DB now gets the call on the offensive play and picks up yardage to about the 11-yard line.
Well, they say on a DB, we're going to let you hit people. You can do it 2 ways. You can block or you can get the ball and run into them that way. What a game he's playing, and defensively he's just doing an outstanding job.
3 minutes and 25 seconds remaining in the first half. The Phantoms 21 and Mount Vernon 6. 101 yards in the first half so far for Travis McWright. And McWright will get the handoff, and he will go in for the score, untouched. So Travis McWright from 10 yards out.
2 turnovers, Tim, led to possible 14 points. That's really got to hurt the momentum that the Majors had established after scoring, stopping the Phoebus on a 3-and-out, and then having the ball at the Phoebus 40. Boom, all of a sudden you turn around and you're down 2 more touchdowns.
Phoebus rolling as they are ahead now 27-6. Jason Mickle will try and add the extra point. The kick is from a sandy spot that is set there right at the yard marker, but it doesn't affect Jason Mickle. You and I walked out on the field before the game and were walking around and noticed how great the field was in as far as condition, although we did see where it was damp. As you mentioned, the sprinklers turned on, but it looked like there was a spot there where maybe they practice a lot of their PATs from, and they had put sand down there and could have made the footing somewhat uncomfortable on occasion.
Well, but it works against whoever scores at that end. So you're not saying, okay, we're doing that because Phoebus is only going to score down. And I know you weren't saying that, but it really, it's a shame that is the one spot that is almost bare.
Yeah, it was a very muddy
spot.
Well,
it is bare, isn't it?
Yeah, and
almost about it.
Put the sand down there and. But no, I certainly wasn't intimating that it was in any sense to gain an advantage for either team. But hasn't slowed anybody down.
Boy, it sure hasn't.
28-6, the Phantoms with 3:05 left here in the first half. And they've had a DB score from 5 yards out. Shadid Harris caught a 3-yard pass. This last drive, by the way, was just 3 plays, 48 seconds, 26 yards. 2 series now after the turnovers. Took less than a minute for the Phantoms to capitalize. That's how effective they've been on offense. So Darius Barnes will tee it up. This is a real short kick taken at the 26-yard line and some running room out across the 40. So the Majors will get good field position.
Looks like David Wiggins, Tim, who was in there as a blocker. He's a linebacker, listed as a linebacker, ended up running the ball that time.
So the Majors will try one more time here before halftime to get back on the scoreboard. They trail 28-6. A first half that's been dominated by the Phantoms from beginning to end, with one series the exception. Spencer, he'll keep the ball on the option, and he'll get a yard out to about the 47-yard line.
Guess who had him around the ankles, Tim?
Let me guess.
Number 5.
Number 5? Here's the replay. You're going to watch as
Dibby's on that far end, Tim. Watch him right here. Boom.
Gain of a yard, 2nd down and 9. There you see a good shot of Xavier Adibi, his older brother, playing as we speak against the number 1 team in the country in college football, the Miami Hurricanes, visiting Blacksburg. And Spencer will not even get a chance to run the option as Shadeed Harris smothered Spencer almost instantly after the snap. A loss of a yard, and now a timeout taken by the Majors. Or no, Phoebus. Check that. I thought they were going to point towards. Watch the replay. You can see Shadeed Harris untouched, and you can't untouch Mr. Shadeed Harris if you're going to have an offensive play.
Well, you might try to avoid him.
Yeah, that'd be another choice, but you can't let that guy come in untouched on your quarterback.
And
so,
again, we would like to apologize to Shadeed for calling him Shaheed there earlier in the year, and that's our mistake. We just didn't look at the spelling. It's Shadeed Harris. And, of course, again, we'd like to apologize to the Pavlik family. We had his Alan Pavlik's name misspelled on our credits. We were pronounced it right.
Pronouncing it right, but had it wrong. And again, we do want to make sure we do not take this lightly. We know people feel it's important that they get the proper pronunciation of their names, and we encourage you anytime we do this to please bring it to our attention.
Well, they call you King Cole and that, and they call me Heinz and pints and half gallons. And
well, we never do it intentionally. We just want you to know. 3rd down and long. The pitch to Clayton. He gets the corner. This is where he is so effective. He is tripped up, but not until he gets to the Phoebus 45-yard line and a 1st down. Gain of 15 yards on the play.
Vernon Lee, Tim, a nice open field tackle.
Here's the replay. This is the 2nd time he's been effective coming to the near side, the left side, as you can see where he's got his talent. He's quite a running back.
He really is. Made a nice cut, but Vernon Lee did a good job of fighting a block and catching Clayton before he could get further upfield.
1st down at the Phoebus 45-yard line. The Majors, Adibi there to crush Chris Spencer all the way back to the Majors 47-yard line. Adibi untouched. And now the Majors will take a timeout with 1 minute and 31 seconds remaining in the half. And that huge loss of 10 yards, well, let's see, 8 yards. 8-yard loss on the play. 2nd down and 18.
1, 2, 3. Well, it's hard to count them when you don't have the individual marks out there, but you did a good job. And I knew you would because you are an eagle eye. But, Tim, that was kind of a slow development, trying to fake the handoff and then step back. And he faked the handoff, step back, and Adibi was right there. I mean, you can't allow Adibi to do that, and he is, I don't know who's supposed to be blocking him over there on that side, but he's getting back in the backfield, making some tremendous defensive plays.
In the first half, Thomas Clayton now unofficially 9 carries for 60 yards in the first period. He really has been all of their offense with the exception of the one completed pass, which also went to Thomas Clayton. And again, we talked about this in the pregame conversation. This team, not a passing team. They only threw for a total of 300 yards in 11 contests.
All right. That maybe is part of the reason, Tim, they don't have good pass protection.
2nd down and 18 for the Majors. Out of the play action, Chris Spencer is tripped up by a DB again. Just got a touch on his ankle, but it was enough to take him off his feet. So another sack recorded, and again, the Majors wanting to go from right to left, but they're going from left to right now. Watch the replay. You're going to see Spencer, and a DB just got a finger on him, enough to trip him up.
And Tim, that's back-to-back sacks for Xavier DB.
All the way back now to the 44-yard line. They need to get to the 35 of the Phantoms. It's 3rd down and 26 to go. The pitch to Kobe, and Kobe will get nothing. He might have lost yardage also. In fact, he does lose 2 more yards.
I think we're going to have a timeout, Tim. If the Phantoms call timeout, it's 4th down. They've still got 36 seconds, it looks like.
That's what the call is. And, you know, going back to the previous situation on a punting situation, the Majors had difficulty. The punter felt, or looked at least, uncomfortable back in deep punt formation. I noticed on that last time when he kind of fumbled the snap that he looked like he was looking upfield while the ball was being snapped to him, like, I want to make sure I can see who's coming at me, and didn't concentrate on bringing the ball in.
It's almost like when we try to hit the golf shot. We're looking up to see where the ball's going and miss it or top it or something. That's a good point.
Well, we'll see whether or not this works out. I'm not sure of the number of timeouts remaining for each team.
That's it for Phoebus.
I would think it is.
They called one earlier and then one just before this.
We got another Ruth Hintz happy birthday message up here again.
Bob Killen, you need to get a picture of that.
Straight across, right on your 40.
We're at the top.
Well, I tell you, you have really greased someone's palm here, big guy.
I'm keeping Mama happy.
Just got it away. And this one takes a Phoebus bounce. Now regains some momentum for the Majors. It'll roll dead at the 41-yard line. So 23 seconds will remain on the clock for the Phantoms to work with here in the first half. And we've got an injured player. Oh my gosh, if that is Xavier DB, how important could that be to this Phoebus team? A player down, I believe it is number 5. He has been Mr. Everything in the first half of this game. Bill D was over quickly to attend to him. See if we can see what happened here.
Well, it looked like 3 Phantoms ran into each other, Tim. And that's
there was
exactly
contact, and we can't see who made contact with whom. But, boy, this could be a crucial injury if a DB is unable to continue. And with the prospects of the Phantoms possibly going on to the state finals, he is, as you see him now, sitting up. And the best case could be he could have just had the wind knocked out of him. Let's hope for the Phantoms. Nope. He's hobbling.
Oh, but he's on his feet.
Right. What a great sight that is if you're a Phoebus fan.
Wow.
Because this young man has just been everywhere on the field here in the first half, so that would have been a huge blow. All the way to the top.
Bob, give Killen his. I can see that.
All right. So a DB will obviously come out and won't play the balance of the first half here.
In a shotgun, Tim.
Yeah, the Phantoms bring out the gun. Hendricks with 23 seconds to work with, throws and completes the pass to DJ Parker. They say he goes out of bounds.
How could the clock keep going when he dove out of bounds?
I don't know how that could happen. 18 seconds. I mean, he ended up 4 yards out of bounds, but and now an official stoppage of play. It's so close they're going to bring the chains across to, or at least look at it to see if in fact it is a first down.
Okay, legal eye.
Well, I can't see where the ball is, so. Yeah, it looked like he clearly. I mean, he obviously ruled he was in bounds, but then he went out.
His knee may have hit before he got the ball out of bounds.
Well, we couldn't see that, and this is not a first down. He's going to miss it by about 6 inches. He needed to cross the 50. He's on the wrong side of the 50 for the first down. So even with feet and players and no yard markers, I got it, buddy.
You did good. But I think that's what happened is that his knee hit before he got himself out of bounds. And
Must have.
And the official is right there on the sideline, and I'm sure. And he stopped the clock to see whether he picked up the first down. Which
the official made the right call. There was no
absolutely.
question from that point of view. We can't see where he went down. You're absolutely right. Now the Phantoms have to be quick to the ball here, because as soon as they get the chains reset, that clock will restart with 18 seconds to go. The Phantoms benefit by the measurement because they don't have to kill the clock. But they can't anyway. Hendricks wants to throw. He's got Brown behind the defender, and Brown had it, but it was broken up on a nice defensive play. That was number 31, Joey Finderman, who did a good job. Otherwise, the Phantoms would have a first down.
We got a flag, Tim.
Penalty flag down. It looks like illegal shift might be called against the Phantoms. That is the call. So the pass
Okay, what do we got on the clock? 8 seconds?
Pass would not have counted in any event.
Take it back 5 from line of scrimmage.
Yeah, take the penalty.
Okay, we have
Tim,
motion
eight
on the white team. Have an incomplete pass. Be third down. Clock will start on the snap. Third down, left.
So third down, you heard referee Alley, 8 seconds remaining on the clock. Phantoms have used all their timeouts. Third down and 15 on the draw play to Travis McWright. He gets to midfield, and that will be the final play of the first half. So we've played a half here at Mount Vernon High School in Alexandria, Virginia. This is the Group AAA Division V state semifinals. The Phantoms at halftime lead by the score of 28-6 over Mount Vernon. We'll return to the stadium for the third quarter of action after this brief timeout. Back here at halftime, as the bands have completed their performances, we have some highlights for you as well as statistics from the first half. First of all, let me run down the statistics real quickly for you. For the majors of Mount Vernon, they rushed the ball 25 times for 65 yards. All right, we're going to watch the replays here. Okay. That is the first touchdown for the Phantoms. That was Xavier Adibi. This will be the play that leads up to the next touchdown. This is Travis McWright's real nice run that he was stopped short of the goal by about 5 or 6 yards. And then on third down and goal, that beautiful pass to Shadid Harris to make it 14-0 in favor of the Phantoms. Then we're going to watch the touchdown that the Majors scored. This was the option play where they pitched the ball perfectly to Clayton, Thomas Clayton, and he rushed for the touchdown, 34 yards on the TD for the Majors. This will be the play that set up the next touchdown. This is Adibi with the big run from ground level. Great coverage of our camera work there, guys. Just a super job. And that set up the next touchdown by the Phantoms, which was the pass from Hendricks here to Philip Brown in the end zone. Brown got behind the defender, and he scored the touchdown from 16 yards out. And then the final touchdown of the first half was the touchdown run coming right at you. Travis McWright untouched from 10 yards out for the score to make it 28-6 here at halftime. So real quickly, the statistics: Mount Vernon, 25 carries, 65 yards. Thomas Clayton, the leading rusher, with 9 runs for 70 yards. Just one of 2 passes for the Mount Vernon team. That was an 11-yard completion to, you guessed it, Thomas Clayton. He's their all guy. 78 yards total offense, 5 first downs. They fumbled the ball once. They also had a bad snap from center to the punter, which led to the second time that the Phantoms capitalized on a turnover. They were penalized twice for minus 15 yards. For the Phantoms, they rushed the ball 21 times for 188 yards. Travis McWright leading the way, 16 carries, 117 yards, and a touchdown. Xavier Adibi, who was shaken up late in the first half, carried 5 times for 71 yards as well as a touchdown. Ronnie Hendricks was superb in the first half, just 5 of 7 for 60 yards, just missed 2. The leading receiver was Philip Brown, 2 catches, 33 yards again for a touchdown. 248 yards, 9 first downs, no fumbles, and just 3 penalties for 25 yards against the Phantoms in the first half.
Tim, that ball was kicked, just did bounce out of bounds at about the 1-yard line. So that means that the Majors are going to end up with real good field position, because goes out of bounds, and then they place it at the, what is it, about the 35? Or, yeah, I think it's at the 35 they place it.
Time of possession, oddly enough, in the first half, Mount Vernon had more time of possession, 13:57 to 10:03 for the Phantoms. But part of that was by the fact that the Phantoms scored so quickly after the turnovers.
One of them was like, what, 40-some seconds.
Right.
So.
Two scores in less than a minute after the turnovers. So if you have to lose any one of the statistics, time of possession is a good one. All right, at the 35-yard line after the out-of-bounds kick, the Majors will have it. This is the option play and the handoff inside for Kobe.
Tim, the little thing about what you're talking about, the time of possession, Kickingham High School, who had not a very good year, only won a game, I think. They won one game. They had time of possession more than the team that beat them every game, just about. So that's not a statistic that is good if you're not scoring points.
Joe Sable, correction, Joe Sable was the ball carrier for no gain for the Majors. The pitch goes to Thomas Clayton, and he will be tripped up. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. So quickly, the Majors find themselves looking at 3rd down and 10.
Vernon Lee, number 8, Tim, 6'2", 185, senior, came up and turned that ball, that play inside, and as he did, Clayton slipped as he was being hit trying to make a cut.
First half was all Phoebus as they scored 4 touchdowns, 2 of them off of turnovers. They lead 28-6 on the quest to the state championship next Saturday afternoon in Richmond. 3rd down and 11 after a 1-yard loss by Clayton on that last play. On the option, a quick handoff inside, rather, the trap play, that was given to Joey Fitterman, and that got about 6 yards, but it will still bring up a 4th down and a punting situation for the Majors of Mount Vernon.
Well, that was just almost a misdirection with almost a counter with the trap, Tim, and caught Phoebus going towards the flow. Good job of recognizing it on the weak side to make that tackle and cause a 4th down.
So the punting game, which was some success and some difficulty, Jeff Schmidt gets a lot of pressure, gets the kick away, and it takes a bounce out of bounds in favor of the Majors. It'll go out of bounds.
It's about 34.
34-yard line. Good call. I appreciate your help.
Well, I'm looking, trying to see some of them over there.
Yeah. The yard mark. The field is in great shape, and again, we can't thank the folks here at Mount Vernon High School enough for all of their hospitality. They have done absolutely everything they can to make our operation a success this afternoon. We truly appreciate the hospitality that we have been extended. And you've mentioned their names a couple of times, but can't be said often enough. You know, when you're not treated nicely, it's one thing, but boy, they've done everything for us. So the Phantoms now will have the ball for the first time in the second half. This is Travis McWright. He is out close to the 40-yard line after a gain of about 6.
Tim, I was talking to the basketball coach up here at Mount Vernon. They've got a real good team, but he was telling me that with 2 games left to go in the season, one team had a 70 power rating and they had a 30. They won their next 2 games. That team lost the next 2 games, and then everybody beat everybody they needed to. Ended up having a 71. They got in by 1 power point.
2nd down and about 5 for the Phantoms. This is Adibi. He's got the first down as he crosses the 45 to the 46.
It's good to see him. No, that's not. That's 22.
I said Adibi. I meant McWright. You're absolutely. I stand corrected. I'm going to see if I can find Mr. Adibi back there.
Yeah, he's there. Wait a second. That's 50.
He's there.
Is he?
He's out there, number 5. He was shaken up, and boy, I'll tell you, there was a lot of Phantoms that took their breath and held it in the waning moments of the first half when Xavier Adibi, who's just been faked the pitch, and now it's given to McWright, and McWright crosses midfield to about the 49-yard line.
There's your option play.
Yeah.
If you need mini or vertical blinds that need repaired, give Pearls a call. They're one of the very few places that repair blinds. Give them a call at 722-1907 and ask for Tommy Thompson or Ray Paris. They're located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus.
Ball in Major territory now at about the 48.5-yard line. 2nd down Pass to the near side worked well in the first half. That's going to be a block that will call this play back. It'll be a bad block on number. Well, I won't give the number. I don't want to embarrass the young man, but one of the Phoebus players committed the illegal block, and that will negate what would have been a first down at the 36-yard line.
And that would be called a clip. Tim, we will pick a player of the game from the Phoebus Phantoms. That player will receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Engraving Inc., located at Tab Square. For all your engraving needs, contact Dave Buckwalter at 596-8850. Shirt comes from the Islander Sporting Goods. They're located in Pocosin. They can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment, uniforms, plus screen printing. Call Dave Chubb at 868-8467. John Roberts is the owner. And Tim, I want to let the fans know that these plaques and shirts are given to us free of charge to recognize these players of the game, and we appreciate Engraving Inc. and Islander Sporting Goods.
Oh, that pass was almost picked off. This is a flea flicker, and it will be blown dead because what happened was a lateral was thrown to DJ Parker, but he went down on a knee to catch it, and of course, once he did that, the play is dead. So he was going to try and throw downfield and catch the Majors by surprise. But watch the replay. You'll see what I'm speaking of. Here's the flare pass, and DJ Parker, see, is on his knee when he caught the ball, and he's down. The play is dead.
And Philip Brown was behind the defensive cornerback on that side.
A momentary stoppage here. Now everything is back in order. Of course, the clock will be restarted. That was a completed pass, or ruled as such, even though it was a backward pass or a lateral, whichever your terminology is. So the Phantoms in 3rd and long, throw for DJ Parker over the middle, and it was too tall for him, and that'll bring up a kicking situation for the Phantoms.
Well, it was not quite enough yardage for the first down, but if he might have been able to pick it up after he caught the ball. Tim, that was a little high, but he was wide open.
Yeah, he had a lot of open space there, but the ball just thrown high. One of the rare times that Ronnie Hendricks has been off target. He was 5 of 7 in the first half. Can't do a whole lot better than that. Greg Narvid will be back standing at his 20-yard line.
We got 10 men on the line of scrimmage. They're going to go for the block.
Narvid gets the kick away. A much better kick than his first attempt. This, missed him badly. And now the special teams do recover, but that was number 42, Marcus Bradley, who made the first player down for the Phantoms whiff, if you will.
Yeah.
35-yard punt with a short return, and a good-looking punt by Narvid. He had just a 22-yarder the previous time. There you saw the miss.
Move.
It's about a 7-yard return after the punt.
But you notice how many Phoebus Phantoms were down there with 5 around the ball carrier when he was tackled, Tim, and that's when you go for the block, you're not going to have anybody back there to protect or to open up some lanes for your return man.
7:15 left here in the third quarter. Same score as we had at halftime, 28-6 in favor of the Phantoms. This is Thomas Clayton as he carries the ball across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. So he will basically get back to the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a half a yard. Here's the replay. He just looked like he might get a couple of yards, but the defense closed quickly. So for all intents and purposes, let's call it 2nd down and 10. Fumble on the snap. The ball is on the ground.
And I think Phoebus got it, Tim.
Well, let's see. They say they do, but no official indication yet. And now, no, they say no. Well, one's pointing in one direction, one in another.
Well, I'm going with the guy in the white hat.
He's the one that usually has the final say. The referee, Mr. Alley, has indicated a fumble and a recovery by the Phantoms.
Third turnover.
Third turnover. I did not detect who came up with that ball. Perhaps we can see it if we get it on the replay.
Well, he came from this side and dove in there, and that's why I thought. That's why I said I think they got it.
See if we can see what happened on the replay here real quickly.
Number 8 looks like maybe Vernon Lee.
Might have been. Got a flag thrown as we're back to the live action. Got Travis McWright downfield with a nice gain, but a penalty flag back at the line of scrimmage might wipe this one out.
I think that's the call we're going to get. That's the holding call.
So the Phantoms making some mistakes here in the second half. might have lost a little bit of their concentration. And quite frankly, and I'm certainly not second-guessing Bill D. I promise you I wouldn't. But I was a little bit surprised by some of the trick plays. You know, I'm thinking I'm more conservative, and that's just me. So I certainly wouldn't do that. But you know, the swing pass out there that was almost picked off and things like that. I would have wanted to grind this ball into the ground.
Well,
Bob says I'll get a call
Tim's
from
phone number is
BR549.
Oh, you're down there with the hee-haw people.
Well, you know, I've been wrong every year, so why would I start being right now? We used to second-guess other teams, so why shouldn't I at least try that here?
But what a nice run that time by McWright. And that's Hendricks on the keeper.
Unfortunately, the McWright run was negated by the penalty, but now Hendricks carries.
Tim, he had, what, 117 yards?
117 yards at halftime. Travis McWright's just been on a tear.
Well, that was about a 25, 30-yard run that was called back because of the holding call, but he just showed some tremendous strength running out of tackles.
38-yard line is where they've marked it. Second down and 11. Long count by Hendricks as he oversees the defense and now calls Adibi's number. And Adibi gets maybe a yard into the middle of the line.
So, Tim, he got cleared down to the 35, it looks like.
Chris Barnes, number 72, big boy, 5'7", 280, stopped him at the 35. So he did pick up a couple of yards. Brings up third down and about 7. A long 7, I might add. Hope you're enjoying this contest. You're watching the Phoebus Phantoms and the Mount Vernon Majors in Group AAA Division 5 state semifinals. Over the middle, Shadid Harris has it. He's at the 10, down to the 9-yard line. First and goal for the Phantoms.
Well, that's the first time we've seen that play, Tim. He puts 2 wide receivers to the near side, puts a man in motion, takes that linebacker out of the way. He goes with the motion man, and that leaves Shadid Harris wide open.
Watch this replay. 23 yards on the play as the big guy rumbles down for a first and goal at the 8-yard line.
Rumbles.
Phantoms leading by 21 points.
Tim, I think that's not on the 8. I think it's on the 12.
I'm sorry, I stand corrected again. It's
hard for me to pick, but it looks like it's.
No, you're right. You're right. I got there's again with those sideline yard markers. We're so spoiled up at Darling with having the numerals on the line.
And not only that, they got the arrows.
Yeah, the arrows, threw the arrows in last week and then had the hash marks. Thank you for correcting that. You're absolutely right. It was, in fact, the 13 and not the 8. So gain of about 3 on that play. Second down and about 7. The Phantoms can, in fact, get a first down without scoring. This is Travis McWright into the middle of the line. He is down to about the 6-yard line. Clock continues to mark off 3:30 and moving here in the third quarter. Watch the replay here of the Travis McWright run. Ooh, did he get popped when he got in the middle of that line?
Yes, he did. Well, this team has really done a great job as
There's
far as coming back and being basically out of it with 2 games to go in the season.
You're speaking of Mount Vernon, of course.
Right.
Hendricks wants to throw, now decides to run and then throws an incomplete pass.
And we got a rough in the passer, Tim.
Shadid Harris was one of the intended receivers, as was Adibi. But Ronnie Hendricks roughed after he threw the ball. And that could be a very costly penalty because it would have brought up a 4th down. Watch the replay, see if we can see what happens to Hendricks. Of course, he's not a passer once he's out of that pocket, but you can't hit him late either.
No, he had already let the ball go, and the 2 young men that hit him were a good step and a half away from him.
Sir, I know you are, okay?
And I like that. I've never heard that before. A young man came over and apologized to the referee, I guess. And the referee says, "Oh, you are. Everything's cool."
Roughing the passer on the red team, automatic, first down.
All right, so referee Alley tells us the story of that situation. So instead of 4th down, now it's a first and goal. I did get it right this time. They marked the ball at the 3.
You got it right.
Took me a couple of tries.
Well, you usually don't need a couple.
Quarterback keeper Hendricks Hendricks, still no indication. Now there is finally a indication of a touchdown. So Hendricks scores from 3 yards out after the roughing the passer penalty gave the Phantoms a 1st and goal at the 3. Ronnie Hendricks gets in the score column. It's Deeby, Harris, Brown, McWright, and now Hendricks. So you've got 5 different Phantoms who have scored touchdowns this afternoon. Jason Mickle, who has completed 4 PATs, will try to make it his 5th. I want to recognize the holder on this play too. Kick is up, and it is good. That is Greg Narvid, who holds for the extra point try. And the reason I want to recognize him is on the previous PAT, as you watch the replay of the touchdown by Hendricks, Narvid had a tough snap from center to handle, got it down, and so often doesn't get the recognition for what is really a very tough component of the kicking game.
Well, and he's got good hands. He's the punter. So, you know, that's a good sign that you got a punter with good hands. But you're right on that one. It was like, how was he going to get it up in time for the young man to kick it? But he did.
You saw the scoreboard. Now the advantage here, and there's a small breeze this afternoon, but the sun is becoming a factor with the long shadows of the December days here. Right now, the offensive team, which is going to be the Majors here, assuming that they hold on to the kick. By the way, let me interrupt myself here and say that was 6 plays, 38 yards, 3 minutes and 26 seconds.
I always like it when you interrupt yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Because I usually do that a lot.
Stopping my thought. But what I was going to say was, right now, Mount Vernon is looking into the sun as they're going in that direction. In the 4th quarter, their receivers will be looking into the sun if they have to go to the passing game. But again, passing is not a real serious component of their attack. Nice return on the kick out to the 30-yard line by, again, Marcus Bradley, who's done a real good job returning kicks this afternoon.
He really has.
So the Phantoms add the score in the 3rd quarter here to extend their lead to a 29-point difference as you watch the replay of the kick. A good high kick, which, of course, allows your special team to get down underneath that and make the stop before Bradley can go too far.
Well, but another thing could happen is you could overrun that kick. It gets so high if you're too fast. So.
35-yard line is where the Majors will start. The pitch to Clayton. Thomas Clayton gets back to the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten another yard after that. Riding him down was number 12, Mike Dixon, and others.
Mike Dixon playing one of the inside linebackers.
Just about a half a yard on the play. 2nd down and 10 for the Majors as we are at the 2:25 mark of the 3rd quarter.
Well, I tell you, I could use a pizza from Zooms. Talking about pizza, we did have pizza today.
We did. It wasn't quite up to the standard of Zooms, but it was good pizza.
Well, there's no Zooms up here.
That's the problem, see? We couldn't get anyone from Zooms to deliver. Rolling, Spencer wants to throw. He does, and he completes the pass. This one on a nice completion to number 16, Kelly Sharble.
Well, Kelly did a great job coming back to the ball, Tim. He had the 1st down, but he had to come back to the ball. He caught it, and it ends up about 2 to 3 yards short of the 1st down.
The Majors need to get to the 45-yard line. And watch the replay of the pass. This is only the 2nd completion of the ball game for the Majors. This is just not part of their game. But again, you're absolutely right. And he gave up the 1st down, but he got the catch, so he had to choose that 3rd down and about 3. Pitch to Clayton, the money man, as he tries to turn the left corner. He does, and he gets the 1st down and then some across midfield into Phoebus territory. So a good-looking job by Thomas Clayton to turn that left corner and get the 1st down at the Phoebus 47, 48-yard line.
Reminiscence of the old student body left play.
You saw the replay. Clayton doing a good job as we continue to watch the time wind down as we hit the 1-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter. Phoebus 35 and Mount Vernon 6. Again, Spencer wants to throw and does, but this time it's incomplete as Clayton was the intended receiver.
You can see that the quarterback, Chris, what's Chris's last name? Spencer just doesn't look comfortable throwing the ball.
He kind of uses his wrist when he throws, flicks the ball rather than throws it with the arm. I think you're very accurate in that assumption. I don't know whether he's been their starter all year long. We have a limited amount of knowledge about this team. Of course, they struggled, as you mentioned earlier. They lost the first 2 games, then won 3, then lost 2, then won 4. So they've been inconsistent in that sense. 2nd down and 10. Clayton gets the ball. It'll be 3rd down and about 9. He may have gotten a yard. That's about all. And, you know, we talked about it, and it's a real problem when you get into a game of this caliber where the other team has multiple weapons. If your only offense is a running attack and the team you're playing is real good against the run anyway, you might have problems on the afternoon.
Well, and you are almost designated as a one-dimensional team. So, you know, you can really stack the line of scrimmage.
What could be the final play of the 3rd quarter. The pitch to Clayton. He wants to throw the ball. They've got the option play. They throw it over the middle, and it's picked off.
Brown.
Intercepted by Philip Brown. And that was the final play of the 3rd quarter. He picked it off at the Phoebus 30-yard line, and when the 4th quarter gets ready to start, that's where the Phantoms will have it.
Tim, that was that's the 4th turnover.
And there is the pass, and Philip Brown, the good offensive receiver we've seen him perform, does it this time on the defense as he comes up with the ground top interception. Just kept it from hitting the ground. It was a good interception. No question it was a correct call. And so the Mount Vernon Majors turn it over. They would have been looking, if it was incomplete, they would have been looking at 4th and long anyway.
Absolutely. If you're looking for floor covering, carpet, tile, or vinyl, call Pearls and Phoebus at 722-1907 for free estimates. They're located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus. They are authorized Mohawk and Armstrong carpet dealers. John West is the president. Rita Barker is the vice president.
And we want to mention that Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, where manager Nancy Staten is in charge. They're conveniently located at Hampton Center Parkway and North Armstead Avenue in Hampton. For a tour of their facility, stop by or give them a call at 827-4670. There you see our camera position high atop the press box. That is us. If you go straight down under the 1983 part, you would see where we're sitting. Looks like we're behind a screen there.
Well, I was going to throw my hand out the screen, but
we have, better yet, we have a camera in our own booth.
Yes, we do.
Very own little camera. There's Travis McWright carrying for the Phantoms as there are 12 minutes remaining in one of these teams' season. And right now, the odds-on bet are it won't be the Phantoms that have a quarter left. They lead comfortably 35-6. They've got the ball and they've got the horses. They will take on the winner of Patrick Henry and Culpeper. Ronnie Hendricks can't get the option play off as Thomas Clayton check that, not 11, but 41, excuse me.
Yeah.
That is Marcus Doles made the stop for the sack.
Well, Tim, that play didn't look good from the beginning.
Yeah.
If you watch the replay, it looked like he's hesitated a second and
if you look at the left of your screen there, they had the pitch man covered well. Yep. So Hendricks, again, going back to my point, and I think it's a valid point, he does things that don't, he wins the games by not making the mistakes, by not giving the ball up, and he makes good decisions. Over the middle, just off the fingertips of DJ Parker, and that time Hendricks had some mustard on that ball.
Right, Tim, and if Hendricks hadn't been so rushed, he would have saw that Philip Brown was wide open going down to that far sideline. You will lose him in this picture here, but right there, he throws the ball. Brown is way beyond this last receiver that you see.
So
but in all fairness, he's looking into the sun, too, as you had pointed out earlier.
So the Phantoms will have to kick it. Greg Narvid will stand back at his 10-yard line. So Majors could get some good field position out of this. Not much of a rush. Narvin gets a good kick away. Again, taken at the 47-yard line. That is Bradley, Marcus Bradley, who's done a good job returning kicks, as I've already mentioned this afternoon. He gives his team good field position at the Phoebus 44-yard line.
Just about every kick or kickoff, it seems like Quincy McWright, the brother of Travis, is in on the tackle or right around where the ball carrier goes down. He is doing a great job with special teams.
So time continuing to run out here on the Majors of Mount Vernon. And speaking of time running out, they have to call a timeout right now. Some confusion on the field. So rather than have a penalty for too much time, the Majors of Mount Vernon call a timeout.
Well, Tim, Zooms has Beantown coffee, fried chicken, potato wedges, Krispy Kreme donuts, ham and cheese subs, Cokes, and of course Citco gas. So we do appreciate Zooms and all they have done for Channel 46 and our student athletes.
A moment ago you saw the Phoebus band. Here you are watching the cheerleaders for Mount Vernon. There's the major, I guess, with his colonial attire.
Must be the major. Well, right
his
now
team is losing, but he's having a good time, which is always.
Well, the Phoebus must be the generals because they right now are outranking the majors.
Timeout is concluded. (35-6) in favor of the Phantoms. Adibi has been a nightmare for the Majors all afternoon, and he continues to do just that.
Tim, he went up in the air to block the. He was going to pass. Chris Spencer was, and then he tried to get out of the way, and the DB was still there. Watch the replay.
And that is the fourth sack for Adibi this afternoon.
Watch him right here. Go up in the air. Uh-oh. Uh-oh again.
Oh, this Adibi kid is just going to be on someone's college list. I'm telling you, someone's putting together a wish list for Christmas.
Well, they got to wait a year.
Yeah, that's the problem with the colleges. And Clayton loses his footing. And we talked about this. The field is in great condition with the exception that it was rather moist. You mentioned, too, the fact that they left the sprinklers on last night. There wasn't any pools of water standing. By no means was that the case. But the ground was quite soft.
Yes, it was.
And looked like he just lost his footing as he tried to cut. Right here, you're going to see the pitch, and just kind of stumbled, actually. Ball just across midfield in Phoebus territory. Third down and long. Third down and about 16 to go. And throwing, got a man open. He's got the catch. He completes it at the 25-yard line. That'll be a first down for the Majors. The Warriors, the Phantoms rather, with a little bit of revenge as Jennison Jenkins put a good stick to the receiver.
Oh, he did hit him.
But Kelly Sharble made the grab and hung on for the first down. So a team not known for his passing has been able to get some key first downs with it. 30 yards on the completed pass to the 25-yard line. So a fresh set of downs for the Majors. And a sack again, Adibi. Somebody is not blocking Mr. Adibi. You better be careful to get a taunting penalty on the fact that he's asking the Phoebus fans to celebrate with him. But Xavier Adibi, watch this. He's going to come from the left side, and Chris Spencer just never had a chance. No one got Adibi, and Adibi got him.
Well, Tim, what Adibi does is he'll go to the strong side where the tight end is, and that's where you'll see him playing, off of the tight end.
That's where he lines up this time, to the near side. And he's chasing him down, won't get to him. That
was Jeremy Blunt, I think.
Blunt, yeah, and the pass is completed. This time to number 80, Justin Bell. But it won't be anywhere close to a first down. It was second down after that sack. So it'll be third down and 11 for the Majors. A big third down here if the Phantoms hold on this series of downs if you couldn't already start the cigar up, you can after this. Watch the replay here.
They actually spotted it at the right on the
20.
Right, yeah. So it's 10 yards.
Yeah.
And he got no more yardage after he caught that ball.
So it is at the 20. They need to get to the 10 for a first down, third down.
That young man is just a junior, Justin Bell.
Spencer, who's found some success passing, now runs with the ball and gets 5 of the necessary 10 yards, but now it'll be fourth down.
Well, there's no way I don't think they'll go for the field goal, Tim. They got to try to pick up the first down or get a touch.
Have to go for it. 4th and 5. Watch the replay here. You'll see this is a pass play, but then, of course, Spencer realizes he can't find anybody, so tries to run for it. Got 5 yards.
Well, I tell you, if I was Spencer, I would definitely roll to the opposite side than where Adebe is.
All right, Adebe, as I watch him now, lines up to the right side where the strength of the formation is. Now they send a man in motion. 4th down and 5. And we've got premature motion by the Majors as about 4 of their offensive linemen left. It looked like they all had a different snap count.
Well, 4 of them were on what they thought was the right.
Yeah.
But one of them wasn't the center.
4 out of 11 won't get you anywhere. Unfortunately, that'll cost them 5. So it makes the 4th and 5, 4th and 10. They didn't need that extra yardage as a problem, and now they'll be forced to go for 4th and 10.
They tried to draw themselves offside.
Well, do I want to hear that?
Yeah,
okay.
Probably. Actually, it's pretty funny. Bob said they tried to draw themselves offside.
Well, they did. Then if they tried, they did a good job.
They did it perfectly. I like that one. I'm going to right that one down. All right.
Every time you say it, do you have to relay it that's where you got it from, or can you say it twice and it be yours?
It'll be mine after that.
Okay.
4th and 10. Spencer on the draw play. Nothing working as the Phantom defense was all over that play, and it'll go over on downs as the ball was handed off to Joey Fitterman, and he was thrown for a loss, and it's Phantom football.
Jeremy Blunt, one of the tacklers, if you can watch it, coming right up the middle.
It's a kind of a Statue of Liberty play.
Yeah.
Just kind of handed it off as he continued to drift back to try to think the defense was going to fall for the pass action, and it was not going to work as the Phantom defense read that perfectly. They've got the ball at their 25-yard line. 6:22 left in the 4th quarter. Pitch to Travis McWright. McWright's got the corner. He's got the corner and then some. Tripped up as he crosses the 40 to about the 44-yard line.
Then we got some new linemen, and we got number 73 for the Phantoms, Justin Cheney, 11th grader, 6'3", 240, playing on the right tackle.
19 yards on the play. Watch the replay from the ground level. McWright almost broke that one all the way. Mark it at the 44-yard line. Fresh set it down, 6 minutes to go. McWright will try the left side, and he is hammered as he got back to the line of scrimmage on a good stick by number 35, David Wiggins. Or was that 36?
No, I think you're right. I think it was 35. Well, I don't see 35 out there.
Yeah, I might.
Yeah, no, 35's out there.
Okay, that's
he's
cool.
out. He's on that right side of the defense. So he would be the guy coming up.
Still got a gain of a yard, but McWright paid a price for that 1 yard gain. Hendricks wants to throw. Turns and throws to Phillip Brown coming to the near side, and Brown couldn't catch it. It was just wide on the target. So that stops the clock with 5:26 left in the ball game. Phoebus 35 and Mount Vernon 6 as the Phantoms will be headed to Richmond for next Saturday, a showdown at 12:30 against the victor in the Culpeper Patrick Henry game. Play action. Hendricks telling his receiver, Brown, to go deep. I've got you. He's got Brown deep. Brown is behind the defender. That will be 6.
Whoa, did they call that? Said, I got time, you run down the field.
55-yard pass to Brown.
Isn't that his second reception for a TD?
Yes, it is.
Watch him wave Brown downfield. Right here. Go, go, go deep. Nice job of laying the ball out and letting Brown run underneath it.
I mean, that is the way you draw it up. You do that one in your backyard a few times. Go deep, I'll get you. Brown was covered pretty much when Hendricks waved him to go deep, and sure enough, they
Show you
clicked.
the kind of speed that he has.
Extra point try is up, and it is good, as Jason Mickle has been perfect this afternoon on the extra points, and now the Phantoms expand their lead with 2 second-half scores to a difference of 42-6. And Mike Hauser tells me that just took 4 plays, 25 yards, 75 yards. 75 yards.
You want me to hold it so you can read it?
No, I got it. My bifocals. I got it. Just a minute and 9 is all it took, and that 55-yard pass to Philip Brown to put the exclamation mark on the ball game. So the Cinderella team has lost the slipper, I guess.
I was going to say they lost the slipper, and I don't think they're going to find it.
But the Phantoms have been on a roll ever since the early part of the season, and no one has had much of an opportunity. Certainly the strength of the Peninsula couldn't keep up with them after that loss to Warwick. They annihilated Heritage. They beat Warwick the second time they played them. They handled Hampton convincingly both times. Phoebus on a mission. This one is taken by Clayton at the 16-yard line, and he is across the 30, and that's all. Or check that 25, rather. And he is stopped at about the 26.
We got to be thinking of a player of the game, Tim. We're going to do 2 of them, and I'm telling you right now, one of my players of the game is a young man who's had 5 sacks, and played just tremendous defense, and has run the ball when he had to, block and everything, and that's a DB. So you're going to have to come up with the next one.
Well, we're throwing out the no player can get it a second time thing, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. It's you took the easy one, Rascal.
Yes, I did. No doubt in my mind I took the easy one.
Not that there weren't any others, because there are a bunch for me to choose from that are well deserving. But head and shoulders, Nathaniel, I knew I was going to do that sooner or later. Xavier Adibi.
And watch number 89 on this play. Travis McGright's brother, Quincy McGright, Tim, making this stop right there. Boom, 89, threw him for a loss.
Well, my player of the game, besides the DB, will be a young man who's, and that's tough. I got to tell you, because I'm torn between about 4 players. But I got to go with Travis McGright with 162 yards, a touchdown, and he has just been consistent, just game in and game out, and he's done it tonight, this afternoon, in this ball game. And a nice tackle to stop Spencer. That was a good job coming over to make the grab. Was David Williams, number 15, on defense for Bill D's squad. Out of bounds play stops the clock with 4:07 remaining in this contest. Watch the replay. It'll be coming right at you.
And right here, Quincy McGright almost gets him.
Chris Spencer just running to the sideline, and that's all he could do. At the 20-yard line is where they mark him out. 3rd down and 10. Excuse me, 3rd down and 15. I was looking at the scoreboard, but in fact, 3rd down and 15. And just getting the pass away, incomplete. That was a nice attempt by Chris Spencer. I tell you, I'm impressed. He's thrown the ball with pretty good accuracy. That was.
Tim, he has really been running for his life most of the time.
That was Travone Williams. As you saw, Spencer just got creamed as he let the ball go on a clean play, but he paid a price. And now with 4th and long, in spite of the huge score differential, they will have to kick it away. They can't give the Phantoms this short field. Another one hopper and a relatively short kick. He did well to get that one off.
Well, he got a nice friendly bounce.
He did. It went all the way down to the 48-yard line of the Phantoms. So Jeff Schmidt did what he could do.
Looked like an infielder that time, didn't
yeah,
he?
that was a one hopper. 32-yard punt and roll the last 20 yards. So the Phantoms have it back, leading 42-6, and they can just simply run this clock out. Again, you're not going to keep from scoring if you have an opportunity to, but I know Bill D is not in any mind to add another score here and make it appear that he's running up the score.
We got a new center, number 51, Anthony Robinson.
Oh, we got a whole new backfield. We got DJ Parker at quarterback, and we have also the number 38 that we have seen come in. That's Elaine Lewis. Elon Lewis. I got it right yet. Elon Lewis.
Well, Anthony Robinson is listed as a 5'7", 170. He looks a little bit bigger than that, 11th grader.
Mike Dixon, who was in the backfield, comes out, and a play comes in with Travis Gadara, number 20. So he'll be in the backfield.
And we apologize. We've been calling his name is.
Yeah, we've been calling Micah Littlejohn him. Oh, the pass complete over the middle.
That's Micah Littlejohn.
Yeah, that's Micah Littlejohn. Speak of the devil. And he gets the first down at the 30-yard line, inside the 30-yard line, 28-yard line. So the Phantoms, interestingly, of course, this is the second squad. Watch this. DJ Parker wants to see if he can throw the ball, and he does. Again, I mentioned I was somewhat surprised they weren't going to just run the ball. 2:50, the clock moving, and the Phantoms can almost now just run it out conveniently. This is Lewis, and Lewis will struggle for a couple of yards. Vernon still hitting like this game is still there for them to win, but never quit. You don't get to this level without playing with intensity and not being quitters. That's the point.
Well, class act, getting your starters off the field for the last almost 4 minutes of the game, giving some of these young men, I mean, they get a chance to play this year. You know, some good experience in semi-final of the state.
You can always tell your grandchildren you played for Phoebus in the state semifinals. Lewis comes to the near side and gets nothing, lost a couple of yards perhaps. And now they stop the clock. I think we might have had a player shaken up because he did not go out of bounds.
No, we got holding against, that's okay. What it is. That's because I was looking for a player down and I couldn't see one.
You obviously want the penalty, right?
So this all comes with 1:55 remaining in the ball game. And the Phantoms fans, as well as the Mount Vernon fans, are sticking in it here till the end. They're not leaving for the exits. Enjoying the sun this afternoon, I guess.
Well, I want to thank young Mr. Brent Musgrove and his crew over there, Roy Watson and his wife, Barbara. You know, I don't know who else is over there, but I know those three are over there holding up the sign saying happy birthday to Ruth. I know she's going to appreciate that.
I'll get a kick out of that. This is Lewis, and he is smothered on the handoff.
And, Tim, I'll tell you, she is 6'0", and is proud being 60.
Good for her.
She does not mind me saying so. She is more excited taking golf lessons and everything, so we're just excited about it. And want to say happy birthday to my sweetie.
All right, that's definitely going to cost you some.
Oh, I get something on that one.
All right, the ball at just across the 45 of Mount Vernon. Clock is moving as we hit the 1 minute mark here. Oh, the scoreboard just hit 0-0-0. Somehow the scoreboard just died. Yep. Right as we hit the 1 minute mark, the scoreboard blew up.
Well, Tim, we got big number 71, Jeremy Powell. Now, he's listed at 5'11", 245. He looks a little bit bigger than that, and he's just a sophomore. You see him out there, big number 71 on the right side of the line. I don't know if he's a tackle or a guard.
There's your score. See, it's all looks like all zeros or eights up there. I was looking at the board because I watched it hit the 1 minute mark, and all the numbers went kaplooey. So I guess
they might just keep the time on the field.
Yeah, that's again, it's a moot point at this juncture in the game.
I want to congratulate Xavier Adibi and Travis McBride on being selected as our players of the game, and there was no doubt the game that Adebe had defensively with 5 sacks and I don't know how many tackles, and ran the ball well the first half, and it hasn't had to run the ball the second half.
So they're set to go now as Lewis on 3rd and long breaks into the open. He will be shy of the first down by about 9 yards. But again, of little relevance as we are down under a minute. And we won't know exactly how much time because the scoreboard has malfunctioned. But that's about the only thing that's gone wrong this afternoon here at Mount Vernon's stadium.
And it is 4th down now, isn't it?
Yep, 4th down it is, 4th and 9. 4th and 10, I can't see the yard mark. The pitch to Lewis, and Lewis will not get the first down, so the ball will go over on downs. Time on the field is being kept, or at least the time now is being kept on the field is what I was trying to say. So we're going to wrap this thing up here pretty quickly, and that is the ball game. The referee has indicated time has expired. We've got a player shaken up on the final play of the game. And the Phoebus Phantoms will win the game by the final score of 42-6. The two teams will meet at midfield to congratulate each other. It was a well-played game from the Phantoms' point of view. A good, clean game, not a lot of penalties by either team, and it was about as good a game as Bill D could expect to get out of his squad.
You're right there, Tim.
All right, let's tell you that the sponsors for today's game have been. All right, we'll hold that for just a second as you watch the teams congratulating each other.
Congratulations to Bill D and his staff, Tim, going to the state final, first time.
All right, Zooms with 14 convenient neighborhood stores to serve you. The game also brought to you by Pearls. Pearls located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus. Give them a call at 722-1907. And the game brought to you in part by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, where the manager is Nancy State. Give them a call at 827-4670. Well, you look across the field, you see the Phoebus Phantoms family, players, coaches greeting each other, congratulating each other. Bill D's squad has done a great job in winning their state semifinals. They will go on to play next Saturday afternoon, the 8th of December at 12:30 in Richmond. Please make your plans to come out and support your Phoebus Phantoms.
Well, and it's an early game.
Yep.
12:30, so, get up there early and get a seat because you will not be disappointed when this team plays.
All right, the final score again is Phoebus 42 and Mount Vernon 6. For Bob Hintz, Bob Killen, and Mike Hauser and the Channel 46 crew, this is Tim Cole. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon, everybody.
Must be tough watching.